Hello, inventors! Welcome to my channel. Today is the day to answer some questions you made on the latest video where we released the MFS, the Multi-Filament System for Creality K1-Max. And I have a lot of questions here that you leave on the comments, and I would like to answer those questions so you can understand a little bit better how the project works, and of course answer some no-sense questions that I have here. So let's begin. Okay, Randa said, also, would you design a version for the normal K1? Stay to the end of this video because I will talk a little bit better about this in a couple minutes, okay? Silvestre Francisco Gaitango. Love this, already awaiting some parts to start building your MFS. Could you suggest me which software to learn in order to do products and manuals like yours? Okay, Silvestre, if I can, this is a little bit harder because we have a lot of different options in the market. We have a lot of free software to create and edit 3D parts. And let's start with the product itself, okay? What I would recommend you would be the Fusion 3600, okay? Because it has a more flexible plan to use the software, okay? You have the free version, then you have the paid version, but the paid version it has an affordable price, so you can start using that with the basic functions, and then when you need something extra, like you need simulation, you need special rendering features like animation, or a very good rendering resources like lights and shadows and things like that, so you can pay just for the plugins that will do what you need to do. Differently from other professional softwares you can find on the market, that when you jump from the free version to a paid version, you must spend a lot of money because everything is in that bundle software, okay? So the Fusion is the best solution, I think. You can migrate your projects from Fusion to Inventor or to Autodesk to other softwares inside the Autodesk company. So it's easy to migrate and to jump to another level as you need, okay? Manuals. Okay, manuals is easy. I'm using the Adobe Creative Cloud package. One more time, it has an affordable price. You can pay monthly. If you stop using for a while, you can cancel and then subscribe again. You have a lot of different options. You have Photoshop, you have Adobe Illustrator. In this case, the manuals, I'm using the Adobe InDesign. It's not the best software to write books, okay? Because it is more like a software to design the book than to write it, okay? So I recommend to use Microsoft Word or any other software text editor, and then migrate into InDesign when you have the content ready to be published. Then you put into the InDesign software to design to organize images and texts and everything you need to put inside. Okay, Randa, again, how do you manage the fence to ensure the air isn't pumped out before hand and made to exit through the top? Oh, okay. I'm not actually changing anything on the fence configuration because the Creality Print software tries to manage that to keep the chamber temperature in the best temperature for that kind of filament. So I don't use to change that configuration. I'm using the default configuration. If you are using another slicer software, I recommend you to copy and paste the same configuration because it works very well. So I don't have to manage that or change that configuration at all. Daniel, awesome work. I would love to see a version of this work integrate with the 3D Chameleon. Chameleon. It's I don't know exactly how to pronunciate that. So 3D Chameleon. Daniel, I never heard about 3D Chameleon before your comment, and then I went after that to understand what it is, and I found that project awesome. Awesome project. I love that. And for sure, we can try to do some kind of integration or maybe kind of support or something like that you can attach your 3D Chameleon inside the MFS. Unfortunately, I'm living in Brazil, and probably as the 3D Chameleon, it's a small project, very well done, but it is a small project like mine. I would be very hard to have one unit here in Brazil so I can develop an integration or something like that. But for sure, it's a very interesting and as I can see the project, the 3D Chameleon, it's a very well developed project. By the way, thank you, Daniel, for letting me know that this project exists. Lauren said, very interesting. My one concern is regarding ventilation of the printer. One of the reasons I select the K1 is because it's an enclosure and easy to vent dangerous fumes through the rear exhaust. But your design seems to want the hot air to blow up into MFS and then just out the top into the room. Oh, okay. I got it. Okay. You have a concern. You have a concern related to the toxic gases that ABS and other kind of materials can release into your environment. Okay. This is the magic of a kind of open source project. Okay, even being paid, it's an open source project because you have access to all the parts that all the parts use it to build this project. So you can modify, you can mesh mixer. If you have the pro license, you have the step file, so you can easily edit and even editing the parts, you still have precision. So if you're using Mesh Mixer or Fusion 360, you can change the dimensions and add more parts and features to the parts. And even doing that, you can keep the precision of dimensions. Okay, so using the step files you have on the Pro version, on the Pro license. Okay, with that said, you can keep the top window closed, and then you can cut one of the acrylic parts and attach another part to connect a kind of tube, and then use that to put the toxic air out through a window or through a filter or something like that that you can attach to the MFS device. So it's an open source project. You have access to all files, and you can change and adapt that to your needs. I have to confess that I used to print only on ABS. I did that for 9 years. But with the modern filaments, the modern PETG filaments, even the PLA, we have new PLAs composites on the market, the PLA HE, PLA Plus. We have a lot of different kind of chemical composition for PLA, for PETG, and for other materials that are not toxic. And I'm only using ABS on cases where I need that part to support high temperatures and a very high tension, and I can't have any kind of flexibility. Otherwise, I'm using PETG, because PETG is it has a good resistance for temperature, and it has, in some cases, it has a better resistance for torsion or pressure than the ABS, because the ABS is a kind of dry material, and PETG is more flexible. So if you have the possibility to use that kind of tolerance, the parts you are designing will be more resistant than the ABS. So yes, you can customize and you can use other kind of materials.
Hey, just one extra very, very important point about this is that just remember that your K1 and K1-Max and almost all enclosure printers you find on the market are not hermetically sealed, okay? So even having a carbon filter at the back of the printer and blah, 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 and all these things that they do to sell printers, those printers are not hermetically sealed. So don't print ABS or any other toxic filament on your printer if you are using those printers inside a closed room where you stay all day long. So this is very, very dangerous. So this 3D printer will leave some toxic material on your environment. So be aware of that and take care of yourself. This is not a joke. This is not something that you can play like a toy if you are using toxic material. Okay, just take care.
Tom said, nice design. You should develop a Bambu one. I would buy it. Tom, let me tell you a very quickly story, okay? I start designing this device to use on the Creality K1-Max, especially because in Brazil, we have a big problem. Everything in Brazil, it's 2 times, maybe 3 times more expensive than any other part in the planet. So you can buy, if you can buy a device like a K1 or K1-Max in another country for $500, here in Brazil it will cost at least $1,500. Okay, so having a Bambu printer here in Brazil, it's basically that. It's basically between 2 and 3 times the price you pay in United States or you pay in Europe or any other country. So most people in Brazil used to buy cheaper printers. In this case, it doesn't mean that this is a worse printer compared to Bambu. Actually, those printers has very, very similar quality if you know how to calibrate it. But if I'm you, I don't know where you live, but if you have a Bambu printer, I would recommend you to buy an AMS, because it's a ready product that you can buy. That product, it's automatic, can manage multicolor printer parts automatically. So yeah, I know how it sounds. Like, whoa, Wesley is it's advocating against his own project. Remember, guys, I already told that on other videos here on the channel. I'm not here to sell anything that I don't believe that will help you. Okay, so if you have a Bambu, I recommend you to have an AMS. I'm not here to tell you, oh, my product is perfect. My product, it's a wonderful of creation, so you must buy it. No, if this project doesn't fit your needs, don't buy it. Okay. Jacob, this look awesome. I just ordered my K1-Max. Definitely will need to tackle this, as I do not like the idea of filament being on the back of the box. Yeah, it's terrible. I appreciate the content, and you earned yourself a subscriber. Thank you, Jacob. Welcome to the team. Better Days Zog said, I'm excited to start this project. Instant buy. Thank you, Better Day. Mate Hello, thank you so much. That will be my solution. I'm still waiting my K1-Max, about 2 months, but it looks very cool. Oh man, 2 months. Okay, it's a lot of time. Hope you receive your K1-Max as soon as possible, and as soon as you have your MFS mounted, assembled in your printer, please send me some photos or publish on your social media and tag me there. I would love to see how it goes.
One more important information here. I received these questions on our email. So if you want to contact us, just go to the digitalinventor.shop. At the top menu, you can find a contact link. Then you can send us any question you have. People are not asking this on the comments here, so this is why I forgot. So if you bought a personal version or a pro version and you want to upgrade, like I bought the personal version and now I want the DWG or any other pro format file, so you can upgrade, okay? Even if you bought the Pro and now you want to upgrade and get a commercial license, because you already tested your MFS, you printed, you are using, and you know that this device works. So now you want to upgrade to a commercial version of the license, and then you want to start producing this device on your country and then sell to other people. So get in contact through the top menu on the digitalinventor.shop and tell us, look, this is the email I used to bought my first license and I want to upgrade. So we will send you a discount coupon in the same value, the license you already bought, so you don't have to pay twice for that license. We will send you a coupon, then you can buy the new license, the higher price license with that discount, okay?
Is Creality, I don't know how to pronounce that. It may works to run the tube from all 3 rows of filaments and have it so the 2 unused rows have their tubes clipped into a position out of the way. Then changing filament would be as simple as removing one tube from the extruder and feeding the other to the extruder. Cutting the filament close to the extruder, then extruding it on the side would be quickly and easier and easy. Maybe a pain in here. A pain in here. Okay. Thank you for your polite words. If it's a model with a lot of swap and change, but very good for something just with two or a few colors change, especially for text on top or something, just another option. Okay. Yes, I agree with you that it should have some kind of device to cut the filament right close to the extruder. I didn't have time to plan anything like that yet. And one of the big issues that project has, and I know I have to talk about this, is that right at the point where the extruder head stops when you pause printing, it's right below one of the aluminum tubes. So I've tried to move that aluminum tube to another position, but it's a matter of space. If I put two behind, the filament spool would touch the back side of the MFS. If I put to front, probably the problem will be even bigger. So my advice is, first, change your extruder if you still have that first version of the extruder, the version with the blue locker. Okay, change to the white locker, that one that has the white top locker and the metal inside. So that version, it's way better, and keep the Bolden tube aligned with the extruder, so you don't have to force the Bolden tube until the filament get into the extruder and all that nightmare. So change and make sure that you have the latest version of the Creality extruder. Okay, that will make your life way easier. And I'm studying some options to make the filament change automatic, but I already tested two options that I found on the market that are not good, and right now I'm designing my own solution to make sure that you don't have this nightmare when you are changing the filament in the middle of a printing. Okay, so be aware that this is an issue with this project. Great design, very impressive. Seems like you thought of so many variables. Amazing. Thank you, Edward. Thank you very much, Edward. Really awesome, dude. Make sure to put that Creality cannot copy your design. Make a small vent or a slide so you don't need to open the door, just open the vent partially. Tombo, this was one of my first ideas, to use a vent, but at the same time that top window works as a vent, you can use that as a support when you need to change your filaments. You don't have to keep holding the door while managing the filament. So you can just open the window and turn the door back, and that window will work as a support for your door. And at the same time, it basically works as a vent, because you can change and leave the position you feel better. And one more time, it's an open source project, so you can buy, you can change, and you can put side vents or side slides or even a front vent. You can change and create as you want over this project. Is there a reason you are using Creality Print and not Orca Slicer? I'm interested in using Orca, but need to dial the settings. The main reason why I'm using Creality Print is because the most people who buy this printers, K1 and K1-Max, they are beginners. Okay, so instead bringing a review and bringing information of how to set up a lot of advanced parameters into Orca or Prusa slicers or any other slicer software, is that even Creality Print not being a perfect software, it's easier for a beginner to learn to use the Creality Print before they jump into another software, before they learn enough to know how to set the parameters, the right parameters in another slicer software. And the slicer software is the most important part of your 3D printing process. Okay, so I don't think the G code resulting from Creality Print it's a bad G code. Okay, so it's a good G code. I personally prefer Simplify. I like Orca. I like other softwares, especially Bambu Studio. It's a great software, but in respect to the public that are currently watching and follow this channel and my other channel, I know they are they are most beginners. So in respect to them, this is the reason why I'm using and teaching how to use Creality Print. In the future, I will probably for sure jump into another slicer softwares to teach people, but following their evolution. Di Manero, the Creality slicer is a garbage. It lags and crashes constantly. You want a good slicer? Try Orca. I like Orca. I like Prusa slicer. I like Simplify. I like Bambu Studio. I like all of them, and all of them, they have advantage and they have problems. There is no perfect software. I like Simplify more than I like any other software. And I know people that hate Simplify as much as they can. And as I know people that love Creality Print because it's so simple to begin, and then there's people that hate. This is like start discussing about what is the best phone, Android or iPhone, or it doesn't matter. It just matter what you like, what you feel comfortable using that. You get accustomed using a kind of software. Okay, great. Keep using that. Mr. Techtubi. Okay. Why this is not a good idea? Okay. By removing the top from the printer, hot air is now getting out of the printer and can move up higher. This means that the printing materials like ABS or other stuff warping will be more difficult. In addition, the chamber of the printer was not only heated by the bed and as measured by others would normally goes up about 40 degrees Celsius when not venting air. With your larger volume of air and the need to vent to get moisture out, your chamber temperature will be lower. Okay. Wait, Wesley, just read. Which not only affects the warping at 40 degrees Celsius, is not enough to get moisture out of filament, not even PLA, and definitely not things like required it patch G or nylon. Okay. Man, look, it's not about the temperature you're using to print. It's about the temperature changing, the temperature oscillation, okay? So if you start printing in an open 3D printer and you start printing that when it's noon and you have 30 degrees, and then you put 20 hours printing to run, and then at 10 p.m. the temperature drops to 12 degrees, you will have a problem because the environment temperature will drop. Then the 3D part will start bending, will start warping. Okay, so if you have a stable temperature, that is the function of the enclosure 3D printer. If you have a stable temperature, doesn't matter what is the right temperature, what is the stable temperature you have inside. So if your chamber is on 30 degrees and it stays on 30 degrees to the end, your print will be well done. If your chamber temperature is 50 degrees and stays on 50 degrees to the end, you will have a good printing at the end. Then about the moisture. If 40 degrees Celsius is not enough to dry the filaments, why basically all the dry boxes, the electrical dry boxes you have on the market, operates on 40 to 45 degrees? Why? This is my question. So you have two options here. Or you are right, and everyone who sells a dry box, okay, they're cheating you, or you are wrong. On my experience, you are wrong, because I see, I test, I try, and I can prove with my experience that 40 degrees, it's more than enough to dry the filaments. Of course, you will not have the same effectiveness of drying your filament if you are printing a PLA versus if you are printing ABS in the same printer. Okay, just to be clear. When you print using a PLA, you have an average temperature between 35 and 40 degrees Celsius inside the chamber. And you can measure that using your Creality print software. You can see that in real time. How is the temperature? How much is the temperature inside the chamber? If you are printing ABS, depending on the day, you can see the chamber temperature goes up to 50 or 55. In a very hot day, you can have 60 degrees inside the chamber. That I don't recommend, absolutely, because 60 degrees Celsius inside the chamber can damage the components, or at least reduce drastically the lifetime of your 3D printer components. So yes, you can dry your filaments with 40 degrees. If you live in a state or city where you have a high humidity, at least you will have a stable moisture control while printing. Okay, so if you put a 20 hours printing, you will have a stable humidity inside the chamber while printing. In my case, where I live, we used to have 95-98% of humidity. And if I start using the filament in the morning, by noon or at least in the middle of afternoon, I have to change the filament because that filament already absorbed a lot of moisture, too much moisture, and then it starts influencing on the printing quality. Okay.
I almost forgot that. Regarding the moving the hot air higher inside the chamber, look at these devices, okay? So those are devices you can find on any 3D parts downloads websites, okay? So what all those devices have in common? They have a vent, right? Okay. So the first effect you have when you put a device like this on the top of your printer, it's not the fact that it has a vent. Even if you keep the vents closed, the simple fact that you put an extra space between the top of your chamber and the extruder or the molding tube, you will have a simple effect at that it's moving the hot air bubble to a higher position. Printing PLA on K1 and K1-Max, a lot of people are reporting problems where they put the PLA to print and then at some point the chamber gets too hot that it melts the filament inside the molding tube, and then the filament starts keeping inside the extruder. So this problem, it's not related to only to the temperature, the average temperature inside the chamber. It's related to the fact that the extruder and the molding tube, it's on the highest position inside the chamber, and by physics, it's there where you can find the hottest air inside the chamber. So the temperature gets too hot on that position, even with your fans running. Okay, the fans will try to mix the air inside the chamber, especially the right side fan that sucks the air, the bottom of the printer, and through this air to upside the hot bed. Okay, so when you move this hot air bubble to a higher position using the MFS or any other of those devices you can find on the 3D websites, you will have this good effect that is moving the hot air bubble higher, and then you can print PLA with a little bit less problems, less issues when you're printing.
So, but thank you for your feedback. I love to hear, and I'm happy to answer your questions. But yeah, maybe you should try. Watched your video. Notice several things you have not touched of. So not saying what areas are because it's not public file for me to test and verify. No argument. Like I just look at the video and I think your product is not good enough, and I will not say what is wrong. Okay, so I don't know what to answer you. The only thing that I can answer you is no, it's not public file. If you want, you pay a very low price, have the project, build it, and you can use. And if you think that this project it's so bad, like the guy before, like the Starkey tube, man, be my guest. Build your own version. create a product like this. Open your YouTube channel, publish your project. I will be happy to pay, download, and test your product. And then after testing your product, I can give you some ideas to improve it and not just criticize with empty arguments like what you did. So if everybody that used to criticize other people because they are doing something, if everybody that used to do that stop criticizing and start doing, we should have a better world. Don't you agree? That if everybody would be doing something to contribute to communities and to people and to the market and whatever, we should have a better world. Okay. Regarding the K1 version of MFS, I already bought one because even being very, very similar printers, actually they are very different. Okay, so it uses the same extruder, it uses the same components, the same display, the same motherboard, but at the end of the day, when we talk about the structure, the frame, and everything else, it's a very different product. So I bought one and I'm already working on a prototype. So we should have a version of MFS for K1 very soon. So if you are interested on that, you have two options to know when we release the K1 version and enjoy the launching price. Okay, so we used to release the product with a lower price for people, especially for people who are following me here on the channel, or people who leave their emails on our mailing list there on digitalinventor.shop. So you have these two options: subscribe, hit the bell, or go to the digitalinventor.shop and leave your email on the mailing list, the subscribe list. Then we will notify you when we have the version for K1, and not only this, but other projects that I'm working on to bring here on this channel. And okay, for everybody that are looking at, please, if you have any question, any other question that I didn't answer here, or if you have suggestions or whatever, please leave a comment, and don't forget to share this video and leave a thumbs up, because you help us a lot, and it's very important to increase the number of subscribers on this channel and help these videos to reach more people. So that is a motivation for us to keep developing new projects and bringing it here for you. Okay, so thank you very much for watching this video to here, and as always, let's keep inventing.